What's going on, Born for Sports? Tonight is the night. The New York Knicks are back. The NBA season has returned just in time. New York Knicks. Last night, the NBA kicked off last night. Their season opens with a couple of games, but tonight is all about the Knicks, baby. Um, I want to talk about this season, my expectations for the season. Um, you know, I look at the Knicks like they're a young team that's starting to transition into being a veteran team based on the fact that they have played a few seasons together. They should have some chemistry there. Jalen Brunson, an emerging superstar, in my opinion, in the NBA, had a great first year as a Knick. To me, took over the face of the franchise over Julius Randle. And I'm just excited to see what we do. And I look at the Knicks like they made some moves in the offseason that were kind of questionable. I'm still not a fan of that Obi Toppin trade because of the return we received. 2 second-round picks. It just, to me, you open up another hole in the front court as the backup four. And I don't like the fact they did that without a serviceable replacement. And I know we got Jericho Sims, and I like Sims as a developing player, but I look at him more as a developmental player at this point of his career. And I am not comfortable with trusting him in big minutes as the backup four, especially if something, God forbid, happens to Julius Randle and he has to miss time for some reason. I'm not there yet. Obi kind of was that what do you say, that safety net just in case. We always had Obi on the bench, like, he's capable of scoring. He didn't really get a lot of time to develop his game the way a first round pick should get time because of the emergence of Julius Randle out of nowhere. But he was always that safety blanket behind Randle in case if he's ineffective or he got hurt. Now it's not there. It's just not there. Jericho Sims, I'm not ready to say that I can trust him yet, especially with his game offensively. Offensively, Jericho Sims has no offensive game to this point but an alley-oop dunk. You know, he's a solid rebounder. He's a good defender. The dude got hops to jump out the gym, but that part of his game is not there. So I wasn't a fan of doing that and not replacing Obi. So that is a big question mark to me coming into the season. What do we do? Because that also weakened the bench, which was one of the strengths of the team the last few years, and that we took Obi away off. But that's a story for another day. We will see how that goes. I also look at the DiVincenzo addition. I think that's going to be a solid pickup for us. He's a winner. He's a winner since Villanova. He knows Brunson and these guys, Josh Hart. He is a good two-way type of player. You will not lose much defensively with him. He can shoot. He adds three-point shooting to the team. So I like that addition. I think it's going to help the New York Knicks, especially for the bench. Kind of reminds me of the game Quickly has, but Quickly is more, I would say, a more diverse scorer because of his penetration ability. But I look at him, they're kind of similar in that mold, but I welcome this addition. I think he's going to help the team. Speaking of Emmanuel Quickly, yesterday's deadline for his extension, it did not happen. For one, I like Quickly, but I was not on the bandwagon of, oh man, you gotta sign Quickly to this extension right now. You gotta get it done by the deadline. No. I'm not there. I think based on two reasons. Number one, Emmanuel Quickly it wants a lot of money. He wants to be paid over $100 million, and with the new salary cap format that they have, it's going to be very hard for teams to pay role players over $100 million of every good role player they have, especially when you have franchise players on your team that's going to command a big chunk of the salary cap. So you have to be very careful with that. And Quickly wants a lot of money, and I've been seeing rumors for months that he wants like R.J. Barrett type of money. He wants, similar to Jalen Brunson's contract, which we all know Brunson's underpaid based on what he did last year. But even though and it's something that I was wrong about coming in when we signed him, and I'm glad I was. But that's that's a tough sell for me, especially the two of the last 3 seasons we made the playoffs. And Quick was a no-show in the wrong time. I mean, if we would have got anything from Quickly last year, and I know he got hurt and stuff during the second round, but before that, he really wasn't doing anything. He was bad, you know, and it's gonna be tough to make that decision. I think honestly, if we're all assessing this, the Knicks are still looking to make a trade for a franchise player, and eventually they probably will. They will roll the dice and make a move at some point. And I think Quickly is probably the ideal piece that would go in a trade for a star, and down the road. So I think right now is a little too early to make that commitment to Quick. Maybe after this season he has a tremendous year. He has a great playoffs, and maybe you say, you know what, let's sign him. Then you give him the money. He's restricted money. You could always match any offer after the season. Or, like I said, if push comes to shove and there's a star available you want, Leon Rose can send him in a package, because teams around the league will covet him in any deal. So that's another thing for another day. But I think, Jalen Brunson will take a step this year. Again, he will continue to show that he is an emerging superstar on this team. R.J. Barrett, I've been an R.J. Barrett guy for years. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a superstar. I've never claimed him to be a superstar. But I do think on a good team, he can help teams, and he's a young player that shows he can get better. There's still meat on the bone for him to get better. Hopefully he's improved his outside shot. Shot creativity with his right hand, things like that, and just become a more consistent shooter. And man, RJ, I need you to get off to a fast start this year. These slow starts every season, man, is just killing us, man. We need you to get off to a fast start. So let's hope RJ gets it together. Takes a little jump as a player and get better, which I expect. And hopefully no slow starts this year. He'll come out the box playing well. Julius Randle, we know what he can do. He's one of the best, all-around players in basketball when he's right in the regular season. He is one of, we could, hey, listen, people can talk. We all get on Julius Randle a lot. We all have our issues with certain things about him that we don't like about his game. But in the regular season, the guy is a very good player. He's a 24, 10, 5 type of player, and those players are not easy to find, okay? So I expect basically the same from him, what he does in the regular season. Hopefully, if we make the playoffs, which I think we will, he please steps up when it matters in the playoffs. So let's hope for that as well. Mitchell Robinson, hey, we know what he means to this team. He's their best post defender, and hopefully he takes a little jump. Hopefully shows something offensively in his game. But we know what Mitch's importance to the team is, especially defensively. So all in all, I think the Knicks are about with the status with Philly's situation with Harden and Embiid and all of that going on. With the Harden trade talks and all that, I think you got to put the Knicks within, if Harden stays there, within that 4, 5, 6 range in the playoff seeding in the East. I think they're the fourth. They're like in the top 4 or 5 or whatever teams in the league. If they do move Harden and Philly ends up breaking them up, I think the Knicks have a chance to go a little higher. But all in all, I'm expecting the Knicks to have another playoff season. We'll see what happens. And I'm looking forward to tonight's game against Boston at the Garden. I know they'll be rocking, and let's see what happens. Don't forget to like and share this content and subscribe to Born for Sports.